Well, it's a follow up to the part one video of the protest, the reasons for protesting. All right, and while I was out there, which I've done many a times, doing my peaceful protest, being on the ground, doing the actual seeing myself, researching stuff for myself, doing the groundwork, I noticed that I understand why the government tries to stop protests, and I can't blame them. Now, I'm not gonna try to put any ideas in anybody here. I'm just giving the other side of the situation. Why the government would not like does not like uh, all the civilians protesting. First, it is dangerous to have large groups of people running through the city without being without the government sending the police to try to combat it, because if people felt like it was no resistance, the crowd would grow to millions. And if the crowd grows to millions, how can it be stopped? It can tear up the city in a matter of hours. It can loot and tear the city would fall to it would collapse in an hour. The finances would be too overwhelming. Everything that was taken would be overwhelming. Just the police couldn't stop them, because police would, if they tried to do anything to a million people, they would be they would die. Like, it's just that simple. Like, and then people would be coming with guns. They couldn't even check everybody to see who's licensed. This is why the government doesn't like the protest. I also understand why they do it, because if people, after a while, you sit back and you talk and you have ideas and you come up with plans, next time people are gonna be thinking like, next time it's a protest or a rally, we're gonna hit multiple banks at the same time while this is happening. While all the police are occupied here stopping everybody from burning the city down, we're gonna hit multiple banks at the same time. Or whatever heist they want to do. Let me see. Third reason was, what was the third one? Let me see. Because it's third reason. But but yeah, I don't know. But we was talking about the heist, and let me see. I'm talking about the heist. Talking about uh, with a million people. Let me see. What else? What other damages can happen with that? Even worse. The police are worried about themselves, because at the same time, if uh, the people like a Michael Johnson from Dallas decided they had Avengers they wanted to take out, and they used the protest as a cover, they could. They could. Everybody had face masks on out here because of the COVID-19 thing, and everybody, all you gotta do is throw on shades and a hoodie or something like that. And somebody like Michael Johnson could easily light up groups of police with, if he has some fully automatic weapon, like, just clean out the whole group of them if he wanted to. This is what I noticed when I was on the ground, why police and government don't want the protest to happen. And I understand, because if Michael Johnson was in the crowd, he could light that place up and wouldn't even be discovered on who his identity was, and he would blend in with the rest of the crowd. And if you got three or four or five, 10 Michael Johnsons there at the same time, imagine that. So if you don't understand why protests are very dangerous to the government, then you are either in denial because you're scared and you're making up excuses, or you just dumb. So I see the reason, the danger in why the government is worried about this. And I know anytime the government is worried about something, then that's maybe the route you need to be talking about, because that's the only way you're gonna get heard. And I'm not saying do any of this to anybody. I'm just saying, like, what I observed and the reasons why I see why the government acts the way they act towards these things. Well, that's all I got to say, people. Peace.